Welcome. In this video, let's look at how you can use PuzzleMe's Magic Fill tool to create dense crossword puzzles with rich intersections and a high quality of word curation. Let's start by creating a basic Magic Fill puzzle. From your dashboard, choose Crossword, enter the title, select the type as Magic Fill and specify the size of the puzzle. Let's begin with a mini 5x5 crossword puzzle. Click on Create Game and this will take you to the Magic Fill interface. In this start box here, you'll see a lot of instructions about how to use the Magic Fill tool and what are the different configurations available to you. On the left side, you have an empty grid which currently contains no blank boxes. If you want to add blank boxes, simply press the period or the full stop button. To remove a blank box, click on backspace or press the period button again. You can also navigate within the grid using your keyboard as well as with your mouse. Let me go ahead and add a couple of blank boxes here. Now, let's look at the right side. The first section here is the dictionaries. These are the word lists that Magic Fill uses to generate your puzzle grid layout. We have a number of built-in dictionaries available, as well as the option to upload your own personal dictionary. If you hover over any of the dictionaries, you'll be able to see the details about the corpus, where it is derived from, and how many entries are present in that. If you want to upload a personal dictionary, you can simply select here and upload your text file. For example, I have a file here which contains a list of famous cities of the world, and I'd like to use this as a personal dictionary. So I've entered all the different words in a separate line, and I've saved the text file. Let me just import this file here. Once the file is imported, you'll be able to see each dictionary in your list of dictionaries available. You can choose one or more of these dictionaries. Let's choose the capital cities and the default word list dictionary for now. Keep in mind that while doing the grid fill, Magic Fill will try and prioritize the words from your personal dictionaries over the words from the common dictionaries. Similar to how you have word lists here, you can also upload custom block lists available. The format is the same as your personal dictionaries, one word separated by a new line. This is useful if you have editorial guidelines about keeping or removing certain topics. Then, here is the section on grid setup. The first is the grid pattern, which talks about the kind of grids Magic Fill can generate. There is the American grid, where each cell has at least two different clues. There is the British style grid, with its very familiar fill patterns. And then there is a free-form grid, which does not have any restrictions on the position and the layout of the black boxes. For now, let's choose a free-form grid style. Similarly, if you'd like, you can impose constraints about symmetry within the grid also. Now, in the grid that we have on this side, there is no symmetry because we decided to keep a specific layout. But if you choose to use floating boxes, you can do so. We'll look at that option a little later. And then finally here, you have the minimum word length option. By default, it is set to 3, but if you have a lot of smaller words in your personal word list, you can reduce or increase this as well. And then you have the must-have word section. This is particularly useful if you're trying to create puzzles around a particular theme or a particular topic. Let us say right now, I want the word magic inside the puzzle. So I can add the word magic here. So let's do a quick look at our configuration. We have specified 3 black boxes in the grid design. We have chosen a default word list and our custom capital cities word list. We haven't added a block list. We've chosen a free-form grid style. We haven't specified any floating boxes. We haven't specified any symmetry. We've kept the word length as 3 and we have kept the word magic as a must-have. Now go ahead and click on the start button and wait for Magic Fill to generate some possible grid fills for you. After a while, Magic Fill will generate several different grid options for you. If you hover over any of these, you can see on the left side a preview of how the grid will look like. Note that because we had chosen magic as a must-have word, all these word configurations here have magic for sure. Now, let's say some words are occurring very repeatedly in these grid fill patterns and you don't want to use them. For example, the word mass here If you want to keep that word out from the grid, you can simply filter it from the options using this words out option here. Click on words out and add the words that you want to filter. So let's say in this case, let me add mass and tier and click on save. If you see now, the options of available list below have been reduced and the words that we excluded have been removed as well. Let's say you want to restrict the options to further grid patterns that contain more specific words. For example, we already have magic. Now, maybe you want to restrict it to grids that have the word aroma. So you can add that in the words in section and save that as well. So now we are only seeing grids that have the word the magic and aroma that follow the grid pattern we had specified earlier and that have left out the words we specified here. Click on any of the options to fill that pattern in the grid and save the grid. Once you click save, PuzzleMe will attempt to fetch clues from our database and assign them to the words appropriately. And that's it. We have created a very basic puzzle using Magic Fill this quickly. Now let's go ahead and try a couple more advanced features of Magic Fill. Now you notice that in this puzzle, we had specified a very specific grid layout where we had specified the position of the black boxes. What if we do not want to specify the exact direction, but let the software figure out where to fit those boxes? We can achieve that using the floating black box option. You need to specify a range for the floating black boxes, and then PuzzleMe will try to vary their positions and try to place words around them alternatively. So in this case, let me try with at least 2 floating boxes and have a maximum of maybe 6 floating boxes. Let's try generating an American style puzzle grid this time. And let's try having maybe vertical symmetry. Given that we'll be operating with floating boxes, it's advised that we reduce the minimum word length to 2 because sometimes in a mini grid, it may be difficult to work around with 3 letters. So let's just reduce the minimum word length here. And let's choose 2 dictionaries this time. Maybe let's choose default word list, Indian words in capital cities. And let us start the process. So in case of floating black boxes, you will see several different layouts available. For example, this one has black boxes on all the 4 corners, while this one has black boxes on both the columns at the side. Notice that because we chose vertical symmetry, all the grids are symmetrical around the vertical axis. You can also choose rotational or horizontal symmetry to try other different layouts. And you can see the number of black boxes is between 2 and 6 as we had specified. Now, you can also filter in terms of the number of black boxes that you want to see. Let's say I want solutions with only 4 black boxes and not say 6. So it will filter out all these options for me. The other options around words out, words in, you can still apply here as well. So let me choose another pattern and save it. And wait for the clues to be fetched. You would notice that for some words, the clues might not be readily available, particularly if they are words from your custom word list or words from more obscure word lists. For them, you can use our AI tools to generate more clues or write your own clues. And that's it. Happy puzzling!